Should Christians allow mass migration?
As a Christian, for me to answer this question, I need to break it down into a series of mini questions that need to be answered for context. 1. Does the Bible allude to us doing good to our neighbors? Yes. 2. Does neighbors mean everybody? Yes. 3. Were we also strangers or alien to God, allowed into his kingdom? Yes. Next, consider this. With regards to using wisdom and knowledge to make good decisions in life, 1. Does the Bible tell us to use our brains by testing everything and approving what is good? 2. Oh, yes, by the way. 2. Does approving what is good mean approving everything? No. 3. Is it wise to let everybody in your country without considering the potential consequences? No. 4. Should immigrants be given background checks before being let in? Be seen as a wise choice to make? Yes. 5. Is it loving to do background checks before letting anyone into your country? Yes. Let's consider questions on assimilation to a Christian society. 1. Should immigrants try to assimilate? Yes. 2. Does that mean forced conversions to Christianity? No. 3. Does that mean getting along respectfully and without causing trouble? Yes. 4. Is it wrong to deport immigrants who engage in criminal behavior and have evil beliefs that is likely to cause real-world damage? No. 5. Is it wrong to not assimilate into a country that is giving you refuge? Yes. If immigration is done on a mass scale, no control from the state to protect their nation's borders, then it will be no surprise when problems show up, problems that were carried over from their previous countries. It will result in decaying of societies, destruction of good cultural practices, and it will become a turning point for the worst for the natives. If the state doesn't control its borders and continues to grab hold onto liberal ideals that don't take its practitioners very far, i.e., fear of labels, hence terrible policing, then you can say goodbye to your country. Because of those series of questions previously answered, I believe we as Christians have to be tough on border control in order to be loving. If people don't share our beliefs or respect them enough, then they should, in my opinion, not be allowed in. Liberalism causes problems for the offended, not the offender. Christianity helps the offended and confronts the offender, depending on what is being said and done. We see this play out in real life. People in the UK have been arrested for waving the British flag and for exposing Islam in public, despite what is being said is true. You can criticize Christianity, and as with the Gospels and letters of the early church, criticism of the Christian faith does not lead to your life being threatened. In the case of victims of war, the Christian thing to do is to help them out, set them up, and send them back prepared. Train immigrants in useful professions like medicine, trade skills, farming, etc., and send them back, or better yet, since our first priority is to the church, if terrorist organizations are causing destruction to our fellow Christians in other countries, sometimes it is necessary to engage in just war. I'll do a separate video on that another time. But in summary, if you got a Boko Haram type figure in a foreign country that's mass unaliving people and refuses to stop, then the loving thing to do is to bring those people to justice behind the barrel of a gun. The ultimate Christian love is to lay down our lives for our friends. When one member of the body of Christ suffers, we all suffer. We ought to desire to help our family out, since the body of Christ is the adopted family. Oh, how wicked of you to say that. Would you say it's wicked to give pedophiles, unalivers, and rapists the ultimate penalty? But keep in mind, we're not talking about vigilante justice here. We are talking about Christian or secular governmental authorities, judges, etc., permitting the go-ahead for making peace in those lands. If a man breaks into your home and threatens to end you and your family, is that a Christian thing to say? Go ahead, do what you gotta do, I won't stop you, and please take your time. Or to quote one of my favorite movie stars, Clint Eastwood, from Sudden Impact, saying, "Go ahead, make my day," before sending the aggressor to the shadow realm. Do you agree the Christian thing to do is the latter? Is that not loving your neighbor as yourself by defeating darkness in this particular context? Jesus told his apostles to sell their belongings to buy a sword. Self-defense is not problematic in the Christian worldview. In summary, I believe Christianity does not necessarily allow for uncontrolled mass immigration, but for controlled immigration. For people to enter, they must go through the necessary steps for our safety. Is it bigoted for me to say not everybody should be allowed into your country? Not at all. On the other hand, it is actually very caring. Thanks for listening. God bless.